I think it's because I get, so called. Go ahead.
Jeez. Welcome to another episode from the Battle to the Glory. Yes, we are here, and it is Wednesday. And yes, it is our Friday, but guess what, guys? It's our farewell for this season. We are saying goodbye to you guys until next season, until September. I'm about to say next September. Until September, guys, we will see you. But listen, we're gonna give you guys a nice conversation today, and just a little brief conversation because we get ready to enjoy the rest of this summer. I don't know about you guys, but I know I am. And I'm starting off on Monday with Lady T and hopefully with Rodney. Yes. Yes. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So how's your days? How was your day, Lady T?
Day was good. Day's been really good.
All right, all right, all
I'm,
right.
I'm enjoying it. No
Yeah,
complaints.
them cheekbones is they shining, so you must be right. Rodney, what's up, man? Talk to me. You got this energy.
It was all right. I expected to go to work this morning. Found out that my schedule got all changed up, so it was a time for me to spend time with my family and finish getting ready to get this house. It hits the market tomorrow.
All right.
Mhm.
All right.
It's time for the transition of life, a new place, a new life. How long y'all been there?
This is my parents' house. I've lived here my entire life. I was conceived, born, everything in this house. Yeah.
Oh, Rodney,
Hey.
that's a big thing.
And you selling your house, your parents' house? Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. That's big.
man.
Wow.
God told me, hey, bro, like I said, y'all know you know my story, part of my change, everything new. I'm getting rid of all the old, bro. Everything that is old. I got rid of my job first. That was the first thing. God blessed me with a job I was not qualified for. Now I work for a company that like I said, I had no experience, no nothing, and now I'm gonna get rid of this. Then we getting rid of this house. Now, I didn't know the car was part of it, but my daughter took care of that. So everything's new, bro. I'm just going new. The new me is going to move to a new area and do God's work. Like I said, it's part of buying a business and having my wife, walk in what I believe is her calling and what she believes is her calling. And like I said, when I see my wife working with those ladies, I saw the Holy Spirit. I could, the things those ladies have passed on to us and just the experience that I've had with those women, working with them and seeing how they light up. It's like my wife walks into the house and they start getting up, getting ready. They like, yeah, they ready to go and do. Man, it's such a blessing and just warms my heart so much that I couldn't deny it. It was like I have to support my wife in this, and if that requires me selling my house and then I'm down for it, man. I'm about what God has for me next. I've lived my life doing what I wanted to do for long enough.
Okay. All right, man. So yeah, that's like she said. That's big, man. You've been in that house all your life. That's a real big. That's a big move. But like you said, you've been led by God. So God is good, man. Hello to our new visitor. So, Lady T, you got anything coming up? Anything special?
Yeah, I mean, traveling, doing some traveling, meeting new people, being around, and look, encouraged and trying to encourage one another. Everybody's going through something, so I'm meeting a lot of new people in life, and I'm loving it. I'm going to be honest. As much as I don't like to, I'm not a sociable person, but I kind of am for some reason. But I enjoy learning people and listening to what they have to say and trying to be an encouragement, because I don't want all of us to live in this life and be miserable. It would be great if we could live in a happy state of mind all the time. So I'm excited that I get to meet new people. I get to have conversations I haven't had and new perspectives and, interacting with people. I love that. So summertime is it. And I'm enjoying it. So that's the plan, traveling and meeting new people.
Okay, all right. I like that. I like that. I was just talking to one of my friends, man. I said, man, listen, hey, Rodney, you been to Cali?
A long time ago.
Listen, man, we went to the wedding. Let me tell you something. Right? I fell in love with Cali, bro. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, man, I see why a lot of people live in Cali. I'm for real. Like it's different. When you live on the East Coast and you go to the West Coast, I'm talking about right to California, it is different, bro. It's a different lifestyle. They can tell when somebody from on the East Coast come over there to the West Coast. They definitely can tell. It's a big difference. Even in Texas, you can tell when you live in the East Coast or the West, Midwest, you can tell when somebody come from the East and go over there. Even in visiting, you can tell, seriously. Because it's a different dynamics, man. Like Texas is different. You know, it's hot. Listen, I went over there in November, right? Listen, do you not know the pool was open, Rodney? The pool outside. I was like, what? For real? I was like, when I woke up in the morning, right? It was like, I want to say like 70 degrees. It's a little chilly, right? Got 12 o'clock. It's like 90 degrees. I was like, yo, I might get in the water. That's how hot it was. I'm like, oh, man. I came there with sweats. Yo, I came there with sweats. I'm like, I had to go to this, Walmart and get me some shorts. I was like, yo, I can't deal with this because I was burning up. Then we came back home. Lord have mercy. I had shorts on. Ooh, I was freezing because it was cold back home. No, for real. I was like, yo, oh, snap. I had to go in the bathroom at the airport and put something on. I was like, oh, I'm not going outside like this with shorts. And it's freezing out here. Yeah.
Totally different.
Totally different, man. I'm tell you, man. Look, I was like, man, listen, come to retirement, I might have to retire over in Cali.
I think they're more expensive out there.
Hey, listen.
Definitely more expensive. And the homeless population is very, very high.
Hey, I'm look, AT. Like I tell people when I was over there, well, you know, you was with me when we was in Cali. I said, listen, if you can live in New York City, you can live in Cali. And I work in New York City, so I already like it's certain things you got to know. It's like people that don't really, and it's not boasting and bragging, but you know, when you spend money, you know what to spend money on, what you really like. You're not gonna spend your money on stuff that you really don't like, or you know, to partake in. So it's like all that extra stuff that they do have, you ain't gonna be spending. I'm be older. That's just my thing. Wife, she gonna love that. She like, yeah, we can go to Cali.
There's still a lot more. There's a lot of beautiful places you can live that give you that same aspect, but not, you know, all the headache and the money and the rumble and bumble of Cali. Like there are other places. So
you're right.
I'm just saying.
Puerto Rico is one. Yeah, you know.
Puerto Rico's not bad. I like Puerto Rico.
Yeah. They is.
I got a friend whose uncle lives in Panama, and he lives on a resort, and he only pays $1,000 a month for a 2-bedroom resort on a resort. That when he leaves, he just Airbnbs it. When he comes back home, he Airbnbs it, and ends up paying for it for the whole year.
Right.
So there's other ways. There's a lot of places. I mean, the world is, I'm trying to be like Lady T and travel, man. The world, once you start seeing other places in the world, you realize that the United States ain't really nothing.
Yeah, Lady T know about that, boy. She went. Where you went? Which you go, T?
Japan. That was the big one.
Yeah.
The Japan.
Word.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you think that in Cali the water is clear? When I was in Bali, bruh, we was on the boat, and I could look down and see a sunken ship at the bottom of the water, which was at least 150. People were scuba diving through the sunken ship, and I could see it clear as day. That's how clear that water was.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even compare the beauty of some of those places. And that the place where we was at, they had no gas was allowed on the island.
What you mean?
So
They had
people
what
ride
they had.
horses and bikes.
Mm.
They didn't want because they didn't want the pollution and
No,
all
no
that
doubt,
kind of
no
stuff.
doubt,
So you
yeah.
had to get on a bike or a horse to get around the island, and it was gorgeous, bro.
Mm.
I believe that.
Gorgeous. How beautiful it was. But I mean, you know, it was just a different lifestyle, man. Just totally
Yeah.
different. So, you know.
But the world is so
Yeah,
beautiful. When you get to travel, you get to see the beauty. So what you're talking about, Rodney, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we know, late. I got to say, you been out of the country? You just said you've been out of the country, right, Rodney? That's the only place you've been out of the country?
Nah, bro. I've done the entire Caribbean. I've done Hawaii. I've been, as far as overseas, like far, then yeah, that's as far as. But I've been up to Canada and through out there, but Bali was the furthest. But I went to oh man, why am I blanking? Because I always get the Dubai, but it's not Dubai. It's the Dubai Junior. That's what they call it. But it's coming up. I can't remember what it's called now. But
I want to know what that is.
You couldn't find dirt on the streets. Immaculate. You couldn't find a piece of trash or litter anywhere, bro.
That's how it was, right? T, that's how it was when you was there, right, T?
It's beautiful. Yes, in Japan they don't have trash, right?
Yeah, she told me that. I was like, what? She's like, no. Trash. My son been there, and you know what he said? Lacey, I don't know about you. He said, hey, Rodney, when he first got there, right, they gave him a book bag and put on his back, right? If he had any trash that he wanted to put, he had to put in his backpack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she said, there ain't no trash there. So they don't have trash cans. They walk around with bags. I don't know what T was at, Lady T, but he's like, yeah. He's like, yo, he's eating some candy. Because he was trying everything. He said, you eating some candy. They gave him a bag and said, if you want to put your trash in this bag. So yeah, it was like a little duffel bag. And he put his trash in there. He's like, yeah, they don't have no trash cans and nothing. I was like, what?
But for real, Rodney, did they do that for the people in the area? Like, I can understand when you have newcomers that are not familiar with the area. So, they'd be like, okay, here's a trash bag. So you can put your trash in your bag. Did they do that to you guys? Like, make you see that the culture was different?
Nah, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. Nah, but you knew you was there. The culture was different, Okay. But they were a lot like Japan. So they were stricter. Like you can get arrested for throwing trash on the ground. It ain't no somebody's going to give you a scolding look. Nah, they'll arrest you out where we was at. Yeah, because you didn't play none of that because it was Saudi Arabian country, so they were using their things are a lot different. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. I'm about to yell at my wife real quick.
Yeah, text her, ask her.
Yeah, hold on,
because I'm curious. I'm very curious.
Qatar.
My
wife is yelling. She can hear me. She yelled Qatar. Yeah.
Yeah, Qatar. Okay.
Y'all so what made you go there? What made you go there, right?
Oh, it was part of our trip to Bali. When we went to Bali, we spent 3 days in Qatar and then went to Bali after that. It was my wife's yelling something else. We stayed somewhere else. I don't know. She's yelling something else too. So we went to Jakarta. That's what she's yelling.
Jakarta?
Yeah.
Okay.
We was in Jakarta too, but Jakarta, don't go there. That was like the Detroit of that was good. Yeah, don't go there. That was hood. That was it. But what's crazy that they did, in that religion between certain times, like the whole city shuts down. Like you can't when they do their prayer, you can't do nothing. Nothing. We was in a mall, and I'm talking about this mall had all the big shops in it and stuff like that. It was when that 11 o'clock came, that whole mall shut down, bro.
Nobody working.
Yeah, they shut it down, do their prayer, and then open it right back up.
How long
Once
did it take?
I don't. It took a while. I would think it was at least an hour. So I don't.
Oh,
Know exactly.
an
But
hour.
it
Okay.
was a while, at least an hour. It might have been
Okay.
longer than that.
Okay.
But they shut everything down, and it was but it was interesting. And they played, man. Let me tell you, the first hotel we was in, we must have had a speaker right beside us, because I mean, at 4 a.m. you was getting up with everybody else, bro. It didn't matter. All the loud yelling of, I don't want to mimic it, but it was whatever was going. You was waking up. The second hotel had soundproofing, so we was good on that. But yeah, the first hotel, boy. I mean, they had it throughout the whole city. You could hear it everywhere in the city, outside, inside, no matter where you was at, because
Muslim.
that city, a heavy Muslim culture. Yeah,
I want to
like there was
experience
people there that had never seen a black person before.
What?
In real life. Yeah,
Wow.
in real life. They had only seen a black person on TV. I told them I was Vin Diesel's cousin. So,
They believed you.
yeah, that's what I was telling them. It was good stuff. Like, even the police officers wanted to take pictures with me. Like,
For what?
in that area, they had never seen a black person in real life. Yeah.
You think that's
And the
changed
first time
now?
I thought the dude was trying to rob me. I didn't know what he was talking about, but then my wife explained it to me.
You think that's changed now?
What's that?
I said,
Hey,
you think that's changed now?
I see my boy. Hey, Gary, man, you want to come on,
Nah.
man? We got you. Come on, man.
Yeah, I see
See,
Garrett in here.
Yeah, we can shoot you a link, man. Hey, come on in here, man. Hit a thumbs up. You want to come in here, man? We loved you yesterday, man. You was great, man. But listen, I'm being honest. Like I'm kind of disappointed that my wife not coming with me down there. But I already got obligations to the family reunion. You know what I'm saying? Being the MC and just being a part of that, big part of it. You know what I'm saying? So just taking that drive. But at the end of the day, I always look at God. God do things for a reason. So just taking that ride. Just me and God.
Oh.
Me and God. He said, hey, y'all good. Everybody studying the view. All right, okay.
Man, that's I mean, I'll start with the encouragement, man. I'm happy that you're doing that for your family, taking that big step. And be glad that you have that opportunity. That I ain't had a family reunion. Well, actually, I had one on my mother's side, but my father's side, it's been way too much feuding for family reunions and down there where they at North Carolina. Half the family don't like each other because all the matriarchs are gone. Once my grandmother passed away, it just went straight downhill after that. You know what I'm saying? So, but
that's almost like
it is something that you should be proud of.
Yeah, it's almost like that with our family too. Almost, it's like the matriarch. They almost all of them gone just about. And so you know what? As a kid, and then now as a grown man, I loved every bit of it. I grew relationships with family that's down there, especially Lady T, my cousin Candy, and some other cousins that live in DC. I've grown, with them, even though we lived so far at the time. I just didn't want to, just leave that relationship, and I always reached out. And the ones who reached out and reached back, we grew together. The ones who didn't, it was okay. I didn't get upset. I guess, our relationship wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? I'm always, about love and just having fun, good time. And that's what I've, I have took with me, as a child to a teenager to a grown man. And so, like you said, right, I've been with my mom's too. My mom's family reunion too. It's a little different than mom and dad's. And the same thing I did over there. I got with them. I talked with the ones who wanted to have a relationship, the ones who didn't. I kept it moving. And I met them at my grandmother's funeral, and I was talking to them. I got there and I spoke, and I was like, "Yeah, listen, it's nothing but God to put me in this place to have a conversation with you guys, to build a relationship that I never had with you, and to continue, growing with you. I never really had a family reunion with my mom's side, and when I did, I had a great time. And my wife was with me, and I think my daughter was with me too, my youngest one. It was a great time. You know what I mean? Just spending time and just being engaged and just wanting to be engaged, but not only be engaged, show love. And it wasn't about just God. It was just like, yo, this is who I am, and God is in the midst of it. He's the center of it, and so it was great. And I that's why I'm glad that I got this opportunity, because the young generation, I'm definitely going to tell them about it. Like, no, don't let this go. Don't let this pass. Don't let this cup pass, because at the end of the day, you never know the connection that you have, how this person is going to encourage you, how this person is going to uplift you, and when you're going through tough times, how they going to be right there with you. But you gotta open up sometimes, not just be closed minded and say, oh well, I don't know this person, so let me not talk. They there for a reason. We in this space as family, even though we don't know each other, we here for a reason. So make the best of it.
Hey, bro, you better than me, bro. That's all I got to say. Lady T, I got a question. Are you the same way with the family, or how is your dynamics?
I keep to myself. I am I'm one of the ones that Chef talks about in a slick, sly way, where he's saying, you don't want to deal with me, and okay, I'm gonna, move on. But I think that family has changed for us, not just my family, as people. A lot of people don't have the family dynamics that they used to in the past, right? Family was real tight in the past, and it's not the same. It's not the same. And so it's because us individually have become more introverted, and we're more to ourselves. We're more trying to find ourselves. We're more trying to look to see how can we relate with ourselves and another person, especially your family. Because when you're dealing with your family, you're looking at yourself. You're looking at yourself in a bloodline way. Like, I can't stand them because they do the same thing I do that I'm trying to overcome. Most of the time, family members don't see that. But it's mostly like, we see ourselves in our family members. But I am doing things that makes me uncomfortable. Remember, I told you I surrendered, right, to God. I told God I will surrender. I will do the things that I'm very uncomfortable doing.
Hey, can you wait, T? I'm sorry to cut you off. Can you say that word one more time?
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. So the time that I took that saying, in my heart with God, I had to become something I don't want to be, right? I don't want to talk. I don't want to become the woman that God really wants me to be, because really that's who I am. But I'm afraid of something, but that's all of the people in my family. All the people in my family have fears that do not, or I don't want to say do not, they do not, I don't want to say they do not, but acknowledgement of our fears is the biggest thing. If we can acknowledge our fears, see ourselves as we need to overcome our fears, it's something that takes time, and healing starts in the family. So I believe I have to heal thyself first within myself, and it takes my family too. So I'm doing things that I don't like to do, but Chef, he's totally different than me. I don't do what he does. I don't, embrace people the way he does. Well, I embrace people. Don't get me wrong. I embrace people with love. But he can come to anybody and, hey, give me a hug and all that. I don't do all that. He's different. So long conversation response.
But T, aren't we supposed to be like Christ? Think? Oh, hold on, wait. Before you say something, now listen. Do you think that Christ went into spaces when he says, you know what? I already know they're not going to love me, so let me not show them love. Or did he show love to everybody and say, you know what? I know who you really are, but I'm going to still show you love.
But that's the thing. Christ is some person that we look at and look up to, and we don't see ourselves as being as worthy.
Who don't?
And people. I'm
Oh,
going to say people. And for me, I look at it as my worthiness needs to come first, where I feel the worth, that I know when I walk in a room, I'm a bright light and I can have a conversation with anybody, right? Everybody does not feel that way. That takes time. That takes knowing thyself, understanding how you are, and accepting who you are, and being okay with who you are. Like, some people have messed up teeth. Some people have messed up eyes. Do they feel insecure when they talk to somebody that does not have these, issues? Possibly. So that's the thing. Can a person who has these issues that we call issues, if my teeth fall out and I'm having a conversation with you, can I be confident enough to speak my truth? That's the truth. That is the real rawness of who we should be. Like, can you, if I had no hair on my head and I had to wear a wig, or no wig, or just plain bald, could I be authentically myself? Right? That is the thing. We are all searching for our authenticity. And that is what I'm doing. And in order to do that, you have to truly be authentic to yourself to give it to somebody else. And a lot of our family members, our people in our life, they don't know how to be. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to have a relationship, because we all have our own issues. So you get what I mean?
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. Go ahead, Rod. You want to say something? Go ahead, Rod.
No. It's still something I battle with. Like, how I feel about my family is not how they feel about me. So I kind of feel like I feel like I'm the leader of the black sheep in my family. Anybody who's in my family who is considered a black sheep, we're best friends. You know what I'm saying? But anybody else, we're not. I'm just not. I'm not friends with them, and I don't. Not to say I'm not friends, but like I said, I walk into my family. Everybody loves me. It isn't a thing like that, but it's just like, for me personally, I feel like when I needed my family the most, they weren't there, and that has always bothered. And that's not always everybody in my family, because there are, like, my aunt was there, certain people was there, but when it comes to my uncles, I just feel that way, and I just don't have a relationship with them because of that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't desire one either. That's the other part. So, it hasn't been something that's really been on my heart, but I mean, none of the kids do I consider, except for the ones that are the black sheep. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask somebody in my family about me, they're going to say everything's cool. They don't know, because I've never shared that with them. I've never shared with my uncles to say, that, when I felt I needed y'all weren't there. When my father passed away, they were nowhere to be seen. You know what I'm saying? When I started running the streets and doing all the things that I was doing, no one tapped me on my shoulder, except for one. There was one, you know what I'm saying? And and that uncle wasn't even my that was my aunt's husband, you know what I'm saying? So he wasn't my blood uncle, but he was the only one. And that was the aunt, you know what I'm saying? But as far as my uncles, none of them was there for me. And it kind of bothered me at one point in time, but it was like, I'm good. Like, at this point, I'm good now. So, but I've never really shared that with them. And it's been the reason why I just don't really hang out with that part of my family, But I don't know. It's something that when I hear, like, Chef Dennis doing what he's doing and things like that, like, when I go to the family reunion, I'm on the grill. Like, I'm on the grill. I cook. Everybody loves the food, all that kind of stuff. And then I go home. I don't talk to them again. Like, that's the end of it. I won't see them for another 2 years. So, I don't know.
Have you ever thought about doing something different that you've never done before? Have you ever thought about, like, connecting with at least one of them that is not a black sheep and having a relationship? Like, have you ever thought of that?
No.
No.
I haven't. I mean,
And-
but I
and-
mean,
And put it in your mind,
Like,
just a
That-
possibility.
I like
like
that.
certain
T.
ones,
I
certain
was
ones I'm very close with. Like the ones that are black sheep, I'm very close with them. You know what I'm saying? But the regular schmegular ones, these cousins that I ain't talked to in 10, 15 years. That's in the same age group as me. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't mess with them because at the time, like I said, when I felt like I needed them, they weren't there for me. They were not, and it wasn't no excuse. They lived around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. It was like when I came to them as a hurt, broken person, it was like, nah, they're good. They were kind of uppity, but it's all good.
Go ahead,
Keep
T,
it
you
working.
about to say-
I'll pray on that and work through it later.
T,
Okay.
all right,
But
go
let
ahead.
me say this. Okay. You brought it up about how you're holding on to it, right? You're
Ooh, I like
holding
it.
on.
Go ahead.
You're
Yes,
holding on.
come
You
on.
said that. You brought that up, right? You did, right? We're gonna say that,
Yeah,
Rodney.
you-
I'm
claim-
talking to Rodney. I
I
want
don't know
Rodney
if
to
I'm
talk.
holding on. I admit that
Rodney,
it is an
come
issue.
on, Rodney.
Rodney,
Come
you
on.
just brought up the reason why that me and him did not know about, but you brought it
Yeah.
up. You brought it up more than once.
Okay.
Okay. Because
Mhm.
of that comment that you said more than once, do you think that it's something that could possibly be that you may need to learn to forgive? That's number one is the question. And then if you can see that it's possibly something you need to forgive, is it going to be something that you can reverse? Can you help the process of reversing the thing that happened to you and make it better? Where this is your blood, this is your blood. And so, do you think it's possible that you can reverse the reaction that you will have and the actions that happened in the past to become the way you would love to see it as a family? And can you envision that?
I gotta give you that, lady. T. That was right.
Um,
Wrong, lady.
Hey,
I got
Rodney,
you.
take time. That's hard. I know because it's family. It's family.
Go ahead,
It was
lady
hurt.
T. I love it. I love
That
it.
was hurt and pain that you
no,
spoke
no,
of.
no,
and I
but
get
I
it.
mean, Lady T, I don't think I'm holding on to it because I've forgiven. I don't have a problem with them. Like I see them, I talk to them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, like I go to the family reunion, I cook on the grill, and everything's good. But it's just like, I just don't. I'm not looking for them. You know what I'm saying?
To break a cycle? You think is it possible for you to break a cycle?
I don't
gonna
have
ask
a desire.
Okay,
I don't
let me
have
ask.
the
Okay,
desire to
why
have
don't
that
you?
relationship
Why don't you have the desire? Just ask.
because I don't. So the best answer I can give you is because I don't feel that they have the desire.
Okay, good.
I
There you
never
go.
did.
Okay, and take that part out of the equation, right? Let's say they in your mind, you think they don't have the desire. But if you were to reverse it and say, everybody want to be with me. I'm a great guy. I'm a loving guy. Everybody attraction. You are attracting people. Let's say you had a mindset, you always are attracting people. So why can't you think in your mind that your family, you're going to attract your family? Like
I think I could. I absolutely
know.
could go
So
over there and have a conversation with my uncles. I could
What's
do
the
it. It
desire?
could
Why
happen.
can't you have the desire?
I don't
Ask
have a
yourself.
desire to do
But
it. though.
why? That's my
See,
thing.
ask your question, why?
Where is the block that makes you not want
Yes.
to have a desire?
I'm with you, lady T. I'm with you.
Think about it, Ronnie. That's something to
I'm
think
trying
about.
to be as honest as possible. But I just, it's like that trust has already been broken.
Forgiveness.
So why keep on why would I throw myself out there again?
But
Like,
that's what
hold on,
forgiveness,
let me
right?
jump in.
when
Rodney,
I came to you,
right.
Go
Then
ahead.
you say, that was when you was a child, right? And then you got older. How did you
I
try
was a
to?
teenager, yes.
Right, you was a teenager. Now you're a grown man, got your own family, and now what difference did you do when you was a child, when you was broken, to now you said you forgave them, and now what did you do to say, you know what? I know that you don't have a desire. What did you do to change that thought process of that person who do not have a desire? Did you do anything outside of the normal and say, you know what? Let me go over there. Let me take them out. Let me do something different, opposed to saying they don't want to desire. And so let me say, you know what? Let me make sure and say, you know what? Hey, what you doing today? Let's do come over, or I'm gonna come over and barbecue, take them out for lunch, do something, go bowling together, do something like that. Have you done something
No,
like that outside of that?
I've invited them. I've invited them to events, family events. I've held family events. I've done things where people were invited and they did not come. They chose not to come. But it
I
isn't
know.
like I closed my door to them. You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes they came, and sometimes they left immediately. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just like, bro, it's good. I'm good. But I always want to make sure I'm not that guy. It became super important to me to make sure that I'm not that guy to my family. That when I see a child like my nephew, when I see someone who needs my help, I'm there. Like, I'm not going to be like those particular people in my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I mean. Like, the people that are having issues, I'm very what they know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are cousins who will call me in an instance, no matter what's going, who look up to me,
Uh-oh.
who
Ronnie having a
think
problem.
that
Oh, technical difficulties right now, Lady T.
Yeah.
He blotted out right now.
Hopefully he sees it.
Yeah, he'll come back. But until he come back, what I want to say is that now that he said that, I'm like that too. When I extend myself, right, T, Lady T, and I've no, yeah, you all broke up, Rod. You
Yeah,
want to finish?
you broke up, so go ahead.
You broke up. Go ahead.
All right, I'm back now.
Right.
I don't know what was the last thing you heard.
Man, I don't even remember. We was trying to wait. But what I was going to say to you, I'm now my perspective has changed, because I too, when I extend myself and it's not replicated back to me, I just say, you know what, that's it. Then I've tried, and not once. There's not once. I've did it multiple times, and I'm not getting the same reaction. So now I say, you know what, they do not have a desire to be around me, or to want to have the relationship. Maybe I'm too a people's person, and they not. They close, like they're what you call it, introvert. The introvert.
Okay.
They don't like to be around a lot of people. I do. I like to, be in a atmosphere where there's a lot of people who can show love and everybody's laughing and having a good time. So I like that. Some people do not like that. And so that they might not have a desire to have a relationship with me like that, because that's the person I am. I like to be around people showing love, and they may not like that. Good.
Look, I feel like we need to have individual relationships with people. So Rodney, my question was earlier was, have you had a individual relationship with the ones that are not the black sheeps? Okay. That was my question. So I'm gonna say it like this. If you desire, Rodney, because it's all about desire, just like you said, if you truly desire to get outside of the box of those that are the black sheeps, and you want to get to know, at least just start with one of the people that you could possibly connect with, get to know, and become like family. That is not the black sheep. That is your challenge. That is your outside the box. That is your being out of your comfort zone. So that's the thing that builds you. When you stick with the ones that you like the most because they're familiar, you're not really growing. You're
No,
growing
I'm not sticking with them because I like them.
I know, but it's more like you're sticking with what you know. You stick with what you know. But if you are going outside of your comfort zone to do the things that you've never done before, to communicate and experience people that you don't know what's going to come out their mouth, you don't know how they're going to respond, you might not like what they say, you are building your character. So that's what I'm saying. Like, get yourself into a place where it's your family member. Pick one and desire it. Desire, just ask God, be like, God, I desire just one person that I can grow. That's not my regular person that I deal with. And just help me, be with me, give me strength. Like there are things that you can ask for because we grow through our trials and tribulations. We grow. You can't grow any other way.
Now, Lady T, I hear you talking to him. Are you doing that? You are?
I am. Okay, we already talked about the man I'm with, right?
No, wait, we're not talking about personal.
I'm going to tell you how I am.
Okay,
the man I'm with, I've been dealing with people. I've been meeting new people, dealing with things I've never dealt with before when it comes to different perspectives, life perspectives. People I've never really, my environment is my environment. We all have our own environment. When you deal with somebody who has a different perspective in a different environment, you have to learn to listen. You have to learn to accept them as they are and get into the cracks of how you can become one as a friendship. And that's what I've been doing. That's all I've been doing. It's meeting new people and hearing and listening and being a part of the journey that they are experiencing and not being judgmental, but try to, our conversations about encouragement, try to be an encouragement to them, try to explain that there's more to you that life can give you. Jesus, we talk about Jesus all the time, but Jesus would always say, do not be afraid. So how do I speak to people without, telling them to be fearful of something, right? Those are the things that are challenging.
Getting in the elevator and speaking to somebody.
I definitely smile. I smile.
No, I ain't say smile. Hey, how you doing today?
I might look. Okay? I might show some teeth.
Mm-hmm. That's fake. That didn't look.
My teeth are real.
No, I'm not talking about that. See how you smile? You was like, hey, that fake smile. I'd rather not. I tell a person, don't give me no fake smile. If you're gonna smile with some authentic. Be authentic with it. Don't be like, hey.
That's their authentic way of smiling.
Hey,
Rodney. Hey. So do you hear what I said, Rodney? Can you understand what I'm trying to come from when I said everything? Okay.
I hear you, but Lady T, I don't have a desire. That's the only problem.
Okay, and that's what it takes.
Is that God's desire though? All right, you said I don't know.
If God tells me, then I'll listen. But
you gotta like do like Lady T said, pray about it and say. Because at the end of the day, Roddy, this was good. And I'm glad Lady T said it. I mean, that was real powerful because why? It's because that's something to really think about. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop laughing now. It is something to think about, and it's something to pray about because you did say it, right? And it is something that, guess what? There should be a change in you where the people who say, Roddy, he ain't this real person he say he is. I know who he used to be. Guess what? Something has to click in their mind and say, you know what? Nah, there's something about him that did change. And so you have to be in proximity of their area to let them see that. If they don't deal with you, they don't see that, they can never see the change. If they don't hear you speak, you could be speaking to somebody in the room that they're in and they can change. And that can change everything. You know what I'm saying? That could change their perspective of how they look at you. They may look, and guess what? If you never told them how you really feel, how you was in this space and I was looking for you guys, they'll never know that, Rodney. They'll never know that.
No,
that's how you and that's how you felt. And so sometimes how we feel, it should be, spoken and say, look, it could be in a family reunion, it could be in a space. Look, this is who I am now. But guess what? I want you guys to know I was in a space where you guys wasn't there and I needed you. I'm okay now because I have a comforter. I'm not telling you to say that, but you in a different space. But those things like that need to be said. You know what I'm saying? And be said in a love atmosphere, in truth, in love. Because at the end of the day, I'm the same way sometimes. But God has made me strong. And I'm gonna give you an example, Rodney. I'm doing so much, right? And some of the family don't support. They don't say nothing. They don't say they proud. They don't say nothing. But guess what? I'm not doing it for them. But it would be nice to hear them say that, and they don't. So you know what I'm saying? I don't get mad, I don't have no ill will about them, because guess what? I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for God. But it would be nice to hear them say, "Yo, I see what you're doing. You know, keep up the good work." Nah, I don't hear that. It's family, some friends. But guess what? I know they watching, but they don't say nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So, but guess what? I do get a chance. When I get a chance, I say, "Yo, y'all, nobody don't do this. Y'all don't support. Y'all don't do nothing. But y'all do all this talking, but I don't see no supporting. I ain't asked for no money. I said support, encouragement."
That's the thing. You have to give people grace that some people don't know how to respond to, and some people don't know how to be a support because they got their own issues. Like people are crazy in their own life. Everybody has craziness in their own life, right? And sometimes it's the grace that we have to give. That's that forgiveness that we have to give people that say, okay, I'm not going to hold it against you that you weren't there for me. You didn't meet my expectations, right? That's what we have to say, because that's truly what it is. Our expectations of what other people should do for us. And we have to say, I forgive you that you did not meet my expectation. And when we do that, we release a lot of, the holding on to the hurt and the pain.
No doubt. And that's why, like right now, I'm glad that, I'm doing this. I meet so many different people on the podcast. I meet so many people, just out and about. And you know what? I get support from those people. And it brings me great joy because, you know what? Not only they don't have no hidden agendas, they don't have no ill will. What they doing is they seeing, the love that I have for God and what I'm doing and what I'm striving to do.
Like-minded. You are around like-minded people.
No, I'm talking about people that have come on this podcast.
Exactly. That's like-minded because they have podcasts, because they are on here.
No, they don't. You know
okay,
what?
However, you met them.
Some of them have podcasts. Okay, some of them I met through other connections.
Right. But you met them through the connection of this social way, is what I just said. That's all I'm saying. So like-minded, the social way. I don't want to be social, right? And so you don't really find me. You can't find me. I don't put nothing where you can find me. I'll tell you where you can find me. I don't do none of that, right? I'm not as sociable as you are, right? But because you are sociable, you have a people that are also sociable, and you connect to like-minded people, right?
T, you sociable, T. Stop that. Stop. Huff and Puff. I'm here to tell you, yes. Your brother.
We're lucky we family. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. Because I know you are a talker. No, you look. Rodney, I'm gonna tell on the righty.
Yeah, I feel like I would tell her jump in, and now you get quiet. I don't know what you're doing, Rodney. I'm gonna need you. You know what? Today is our last day, and when we're gonna come back into the 30 days from now, right? And it's gonna be different. So, Rodney, I'm so excited for your next steps and when we find out about you, because you revealed to us all the big change which you're going through. So I get it. Okay. I truly do.
Trust me, I'm excited for what God has for me next.
I know. The excitement, though, is not really showing on your face, Rodney.
Right now, I'm tired.
I know you've been tired for a couple of weeks now, and I feel bad
I've been
for
working on this. I've been working.
You've got a lot going on. Things change. Yes, I know. I do.
And still showing up, still showing up here because that's what God tells me.
Showing up for work, showing up for family. Yeah. That's right. I know. I get it.
let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. So I'm gonna break another thing down. But God, because it has been a rough couple of days, but something happened today that made me sit back and go, this is what it's really about. And we talk about this stuff. We talk about all this stuff on the show, and I've openly talked about my nephew. Y'all know I took my nephew in. You know that he decided to rob a gun store. My house got raided by the ATF. God told me I couldn't abandon him, this, that, and the other. So, and I also went and helped a friend that I told God I would never help again. You know what I'm saying? So this is all long story short. All these things came. A guy came to me. He was dropping off my boy's truck at I don't know this man from nothing. And I walk outside, and he comes to me, and he goes, hey, are you Rodney? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I'm so-and-so. He starts just telling me his story and this, that, and the other. And in his story, he goes, you know, I moved from North Carolina. I'm trying to change my life and live a better way. And he didn't say change my life. He said, I'm trying to do something. I look back, I said, well, are you trying to live the same life you were living in North Carolina here, or are you trying to live differently here? And then he said, no, I'm trying to live different. And then I said, good. I was like, you know, and then he goes, but I heard about you. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right. And then he goes, yeah, but everybody calls you Uncle Rodney. And so I used to work for this company. And they knew me in this, and there's a couple of guys that I always told you that in the mornings when I work for this company, all the guys are sitting there smoking weed in the morning. And I asked them, I was like, why? And it was like, I don't know. So there are guys in that group that I consider friends. So like, not to say friends, but to be honest with me, they come to me and they ask for advice all the time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they know I'm a man of God and this, that, and other, but the guy goes to me, he goes, yeah, he was like, your nephew, Jordan, works for us. And he was like, man, and Jordan just started really working consecutive recently. He changed since he finally got his diploma. Anyway, so the guy goes, yeah, Jordan talks about you all the time. And I said, what? I was like, he was like, yeah, Jordan talks about you all the time. He talks about you so much that I'm starting to look up to you. And I said, some of my boy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I said, hey, bro, you I was like, hey, bro, you just made my day, for real. And then I told him, I was like, you know, I asked him, I was like, you want to pray? And we prayed. Mm-hmm. And I left. And then, I went back in the house. But by then I was feeling so emotional, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, but that just reminded me that I'm stressed about this house. I'm stressed about all these things, but none of these things that I'm stressed about matters. It's that right there. That somebody who knows, and Jordan knows who I was before, you know what I'm saying? So, and he knows who I am now. So to hear some dude that I don't know, that ain't met me ever in his life to say, I heard about you. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, Jordan talks about you so much that I'm starting to look up to you. And and that's what life is really about. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget that, the housing. And that's the other reason why I get rid of this house, because this house means nothing. In the grand scheme of God, it means nothing. And why am I holding on to these earthly treasures? Like, it's nothing, So, but nah, it kind of just, made me understand. But that's what this whole thing is about, man. That's what this whole thing is about. And even listening to Chef Dennis and this, what you call it, to be able to do that for your family and what you call it, it's a great thing. Now, do I admire it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can admire that Chef Dennis has a great relationship with a lot of his family to be able to do something like that in confidence and everything like that. Do I want that to be me? Absolutely not. You know what I want to do? I want to go over there. I'll cook on the grill. Everybody eats, and I go home. You know what I'm saying?
So is that one
hold
of the things that your wife needs to put on the list?
Yeah, tell him, T. Oh, I like this lady T.
What happened
What?
now? No.
Okay, I'm
So I was
asking.
very careful about what I said.
You're right.
I didn't say I was not going to do it. I
Okay.
said I do not want to do it. There's two different things. So I was telling God what I was not going to do. That's what goes on the list. When I say, God, I'm not going to do this.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that.
You don't want to do God's desire for your life?
No, I didn't say that. If
No,
God
but
desires me, that's what I just said.
Oh,
I said, if
just wanna
God
make sure.
desires me to do it, then I'm going to do it.
Right.
But
he got
that
you. He
ain't
wants
what
you
I
to.
said. I
wants
said I
you to.
don't want to do it. I didn't
Right.
say that I will not do it. It's different. I was telling God what I will not do.
Okay. I get
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
Get him
So-
laid, T.
Yeah, hey, he had to explain it. So I got
Oh,
you, Rodney,
yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, God, God, I want, I'm gonna quit my job, but I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, there's a difference.
Well, you already a spokesman for Jesus, so I don't know what you mean. But
All right, Smoke, what?
you're a spokesman for Jesus.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I don't know what you're not willing to do, but
at this point, there's nothing I'm not willing to do.
yeah, because
There's plenty of things I don't want.
you already did. Look, you did it. You just look. You listen. Do you know how? Listen. Do you know how much faith and strength on the inner you have to be built into you to see a person you never met, and then they talk to you and they say that, and then you say, "Let's have prayer."
Mm.
Yeah.
That ain't just a regular person. That ain't just a person that says, "Oh, okay." You could have just said, "All right, see you later," and walked in the house. No, you said, "Let's have prayer," because you see that you have a different set of lens on now. Your heart posture is different. You know what I'm saying? And so in that, and that's great. And I'm bigging you up in that because guess what? I know you now, not just from being around you, but knowing your story and just to see that's big right there. You talk about encouragement, that will encourage somebody right there because they don't know the old Rodney. They don't know the Beast One. They don't know, your story like I do and Lady T. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you've been on the Beth Schiff show. Trust me, that when I saw you on there, bro, I was like, okay. I mean, I know people was encouraged. I know they not only encouraged, bro, you didn't change some lives. You didn't change perspectives. You didn't help because you allow God to use you. And so you done helped a lot of people, whether you believe it or not. You did. Trust me, especially men. There are a lot of men that will not get on the stage, will not get on a platform and talk about what they've been through because they're afraid. They think that's weak. They're afraid to be vulnerable. Nah, you're in the business of helping people in their situation, their circumstance, helping to renew their mind, help to heal their heart. That's where it starts. So I can say this. I'm proud of you, Rodney. I'm glad to be your friend, your brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to meet your family, to know not just you, your family, your kids. Man, let me tell you, I'm big. I'm throwing some flowers to Rodney right now. Listen, when I met his son, this dude, he came back from the military, Lady T. Let me tell you something. He came in the house so quiet, so nonchalant. I was like, you ain't happy. I said, yeah, this how he is. Bruh, when he started talking, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, is this the same person? Nah. Because he's so quiet, just to himself. But it's amazing. Just like to know his wife, so precious, so quiet, but so peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And Rodney might say, he just talking. Nah, that's what I said. His in-laws, man, they're just some lovely people. And then Rodney is the king of his castle. And guess what? Now it's started to change, shift, and it's beautiful, man. Just to know that, just to see that. And that's the good thing. You can see the growth in somebody. You can see how they've grown, how they become this new person, and it's lovely. Especially when he got, I can't stop. Especially when he got, I'm sorry, y'all, yelling in y'all ear. Especially when he got baptized, boy. I was like, I wish I was there. I was planning on coming, but they switched up on me because I had the days, the weekend, the whole weekend off, and they switched up on me. But I was so happy. I seen his wife hug her and kiss him. She was so happy. You know, I don't know if she was crying, but it sure looked like it, boy.
She was crying.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to tell you, you won't know. Like, people take that as just something simple. Nah, that's something totally different because you know what? That's your heart. You said, I want to live, I want to die for God. I want to change. And that's what it's about, man. I'm loving every bit of it. I'm just glad to know that I'm a friend of a man that wants to serve God. That's it, man. You know what I mean? I just want to say that to you, man. And for real. And this, like I tell people all the time, this ain't no show. This is for real. This is how I feel about Rodney Glover and his family and Lady T, of course.
So look, I want to say a couple things about encouragement, our topic. Okay. So I think it's really important that we learn to encourage people in the right way where we don't, do a whole lot of flattery, make you hear things that you want to hear, saying things that make the ears feel good type of thing, or enabling them to do something that they really shouldn't do, false optimism, being optimistic, but not really being truthful that the outcome is most likely going to be something you're going to have to suffer through because of your own choices. Like, the true encouragement means that you will have to give some encouraging words to take heart and be strong, right? Be courageous, whatever you got to go through. Sometimes people make bad decisions, and their bad decisions mean they're going to have consequences that will not be the outcome they wanted or they expected, but because of their own bad decisions. So what really is encouragement? If we really think about what encouragement is, can we be honest to say that encouragement means that you say things that might hurt your heart, make you feel uncomfortable because that was truth and you didn't want to acknowledge the truth of yourself, or is it something that we are just trying to control? Sometimes we encourage people to control the outcome of what we want them to stay stuck in, right? There are a lot of control issues in this world, manipulative ways where people are saying, yeah, don't do that. You don't want to come outside of your box because I like you where you are. You make me feel comfortable, right? So this is not real encouragement. But do we get to pay attention? Are we paying attention and seeing people for who they really are? That's what I wanted to say.
What's your response on that, Rodney?
I think encouragement goes in both ways with what Lady T said, because sometimes encouragement doesn't give you permission. Sometimes encouragement lets you know exactly what it is, and I think that's what Lady T is saying in this whole thing. In this, and maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm getting it right, Lady T. But sometimes it's just about being honest in the situation and what is really the truth, because sometimes people think, and what the encouragement is me telling you something to make you feel better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to give, I want to give for instance, but all my for instances are really bad, so I don't want to use them. But, but I mean, I guess I can't use one. My daughter's best, one of my daughter, I would call him her best friend, just found out he has a rare form of cancer. And I haven't even had this conversation with my daughter because I wasn't ready for it. My wife informed me, but it's about being there for him. It's not about telling him, oh, everything's going to be all right. Blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's, when you hear somebody in a situation like that, it's just about being there for them, how they need you to be. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't say nothing. Mm-hmm. When they need a hug, give them a hug. Like when you get in those circumstances where things are just unknown, I think you're doing yourself an injustice by pretending everything is okay. Guess what? Sometimes it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? This is a young man in the prime of his life. You know what I'm saying? To find out this information, sometimes it takes a hug. It takes other things than just being like, oh, you're going to be foreign and you're going to do this and you're going to do that, which he may be. But it's also, hey, let's do the things that you want to do. Let's take care of it. Let's if it is going to be, and I'm taking, if it is what God's will is, then let's really say to each other what we need to say. Let's be here together. And I'm just using that. I'm not telling them that's what I'm gonna say to my daughter, but but sometimes you gotta be like that's gotta be the conversation. It isn't always like rainbows and butterflies. But being there for a person during the time that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, this circumstance may be great. It may, it may not. Who knows? But being there for that person is what you really need to be, and that is encouragement also.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. Saying nothing, just being there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even asking, "Do you need me to do anything?"
Yeah, that's better. There you go. I think that's just. I think that's more encouraging. If a person is going through something real traumatic, I think just being there, just maybe sometimes, like Brian said, you got to cry with them because they need that comfort. They actually really need that comfort, and so I think the best thing you can do is give them comfort in their situation, in their circumstance. Because if you're losing a loved one, you lost a job. Words of encouragement is great, but being there and comforting them in the midst of them going through I think is part of your encouragement. Just being there, and allowing them to just pour out to you, and you can pour into them, and you have to let them open up, before you start saying certain things that can really, make them still upset. You know what I mean? Just like I use two examples is losing a loved one, right? And losing a job. Words of encouragement. The first thing we say, we tell them, oh, God got you. Yeah, sometimes that's easiest to say, but guess what? Sometimes people don't want to hear that at that moment. Let's keep it as a believer, as a follower of Christ. They do not want to hear that. I'm so serious. And it's crazy because then they may have been serving God all their life and they lose a loved one that's close to them. They not trying to hear God right now. They upset. They hurt. And they don't want to hear that at that moment. So sometimes you got to be spirit of discernment. You got to lean on God to give them what they need in that moment. I say it like that. That's what I would do. I before I even step and try to give somebody words of encouragement, I'm going to say, Lord, what do I need to say? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing, especially in the midst of somebody losing somebody, whether it's their kids, their wife, their sibling. I can't even begin to, my flesh speak to a person that lose anybody like that. It has to be the Holy Spirit. Got to be. Because I've seen it too much from family. Losing someone they love so dearly, and then guess what? They don't want to hear nothing about God. Trust me. They don't want to hear that. And so being there, comforting them is part of that. So, that's great, Lady T. That is true. Just being present sometimes. That can be the best thing at the moment. Well, listen, guys. We're going to get ready to get out of here. Listen, y'all.
Oh, before you go, I do want to say something to Lady T. Chef Dennis, I we doing this encouragement thing. I love you, but I ain't getting all sentimental with you, man.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? But, I do want Lady T to know that every time I'm getting ready to curse somebody out, I think about her. And I sit there and say, I can't tell Lady T that she can't need to stop cursing people out. That she can make this decision if I can't make it. You know what I'm saying? I swear, when I was getting ready to curse that white man out the other day, I heard Lady T right there, like, go ahead. Go ahead there. You know what I'm saying? I heard Lady T, go ahead. You want me to come help you? I got you.
God is good. God is good, yo.
You're right, Rodney.
Yo,
I said,
she
no,
I'll be right there.
I can't be on the show telling Lady T that she got to make a decision not to do it if I can't do it myself. So,
Rodney.
you know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know that now, Lady T, you are my cursing out angel. That you got the Holy Spirit over here. Then Lady T pop up over here. Go, it's all right. That's right.
It's all right. Just say what you want to say.
Yeah, just say a couple. Just a couple. You can go in there and say
Oh, yeah.
2 or 3.
Let it out.
Leave.
Get them toxins out.
But it's just it's all love. I appreciate Chef Dennis as much as we are on this show, and it seems like me and you butt heads on things, man. You are definitely the iron sharpening the iron in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely love even you challenge me in times that I don't want to be challenged, and sometimes I don't want to hear that, but you challenge me in those ways, and and I appreciate you. I appreciate the show. I appreciate you allowing me to come on here as much as I do, and as much as I may go over the top sometimes. You still have always been steadfast. So just want to say that, and then, but that's it. You won't get none. If I'm still here next season, you won't hear none of that. So,
hey, y'all, listen.
It'll be so interesting.
Hey, look. Hey, T. If he there Monday, I'm gonna give him a big 10 day.
I can't wait for Monday. I really hope we can do
I know.
this.
I hope
be great.
He's still there too. Yeah, I know.
I should be able to make it. The only way I don't make it is if I'm working. That's at that particular time, but I'll still figure it out.
We'll make it happen.
Yep. All right, guys. Listen, man. Until September, you guys enjoy the rest of your summer. We will see you in September. We got something new for you guys, as well as in October. Listen, we got some great stuff coming up. And so, guys, enjoy the rest of your summer. Be blessed and continue to loving on someone, if not your family, your friends, your co-workers, to keep the love and the peace in the atmosphere. Peace, guys.
See y'all later.